Hello, Twitch. Welcome in, everyone. Happy Friday. What's happening? I've got a big, very fake French baguette in front of me that I don't think is very baguette-y or very French style. But, hey. Use that for our bread tonight. We got some Gruyere. Got obviously a bunch of onions. Use a bit of the last of our chicken stock. And yeah, let's have some yumminess tonight. But first, coffee. The camera off that much tonight? Seems way high. Almost threw another bag of coffee already. Scale was giving me issues earlier. Let's hope it's... Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you for that raid, Zach Boosty. Think I'm pronouncing that right? I have no idea for sure. Appreciate your news. I'll follow you on Twitter quite a bit. How is everyone tonight? We're just getting started, just starting the stream tonight. I'm starting my streams off with coffee. Not because I'm necessarily a huge coffee expert. I've done a fair amount of coffee in business, but it's more that it allows me to ease into the start of stream than going nutso. So welcome in, I'm Jason. I cook dinner here on Twitch 4 nights a week. So tonight we're doing French onion. Gonna be doing meatloaf on Sunday. And got some other interesting plans for Monday. I haven't quite figured that all out, but I'm hoping to sort of celebrate Luther Burbank, which is a famous gardener, plant developer, and local here to Sonoma County where I am. So there's some wine on stream. That's majority reason that there's a adult on this channel. We're 18 plus. Thank you for the follow. How you doing tonight, Bun Buns? Welcome in. Doing pretty good. I mean, how can it be doing bad with a raid right to start off the stream? So I've already got my pan set up here, all ready to go for the onions once we get there. sugar. I need my sugar in the wall. Thank you, thank you. Shh. Yes, I try to do a quite relaxed stream. We got jazz, blues, that sort of thing going on with the music. A little light on the cream, not enough fat in there to get it really foaming. Cheers, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome in. So let's start with some onion cutting. I got 2 bags of onions in here. Oops. For anyone new in here, on Wednesdays we sort of do, Wednesdays are sort of our weird night where I hold a weekly vote in Discord. And did I start this week's? Oopsies. Did I start this week's? I did. So every week in Discord, I have a vote between 2 ingredients suggested by chat. There's another channel just below that in the ingredient suggestions where people make suggestions. And so this Wednesday, I'm either going to have to use peas or frozen pizzas as an ingredient. So the frozen pizzas would have to be used as an ingredient in other dishes. And I'm going to have to use them both sweet and savory. So both dinner and dessert. And so I'm going to have to somehow use pizza as an ingredient in a dessert. Or peas as an ingredient in dessert. I did canned peas a while ago. And I think I made pea ice cream. I'm not quite sure what I did with that. That was quite a while ago. Anyone's welcome to join into the scramble that's going on right now. You just have to type !scramble if you want to make a guess. The words are all, it's a custom dictionary I put together of not just one source, and it is multilingual, so you're not just guessing English words. I sort of did this so that it's not a huge amount of sprinkles towards our giveaways, but it's conversation starter, things to chat about. Like, what the heck is that word? Pudding or mousse? Yeah. Welcome your ideas. I try not to think about it too much beforehand. I try to wait until Monday or Tuesday beforehand. Usually Monday because I'm doing shopping. Peel. Why you no peel? There we go. Nice. Ooh, pea creme brulee. I always have a little bit of a problem with the custards and stuff like that sometimes on stream because they require the chill time. So with the exception of marinades and stuff like that, I try to keep things typically with Wednesday streams to 1 day thing. Sundays I'll do all sorts of stuff, stocks, longer streams, the last couple of weekends I've been doing big roasts, but I've been sous videing them ahead of time, and then reverse searing them. And so the last couple of weeks I've been on Fridays. I'm not doing it tonight, but the last couple of Fridays I've set up the immersion circulator back there and put the meat in marinade and started cooking away. So we're just slicing these, but we don't want them paper thin. Want a little thickness to them. Caught you. Oh, and we have Stream Raiders going out too. It would help that I was showing you that and not the Discord this whole time, wouldn't it? I'm going to go through and take the cores out on all of these now. First, Oh, we're going to be cooking these onions for quite a bit. Upwards of an hour. Yeah, we'll wait on that. Yeah, just for tonight. And actually, I'd probably prefer spring torpedo onions over these. But I have not seen those at the farmers markets as of yet this year. Let's do our battle here after this onion. Got a boss level this time. I don't know if we're going to end up fighting there, though. I'm just going to haste everyone. Yep, we didn't go towards the center. A couple of them. Ouchies. 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 Oh. Alright, what do we got that wants to go after this? Rogues want to go after that. Rogues want to go after a lot of stuff here. Wish I had something that wanted to go after. Oh, there we go. Same thing. Back to onion cutting. So if any of you are still awake from that lovely raid at the beginning of the stream, what were we all discussing today? What was the big news of the day in streamer world? Flame underneath. Sunflower oil, which is what I use for my cooking oil. And we're going to be using a bit of butter here. Just a little bit of butter. Be like butter. And we're going to be loading this pan up. Since we're partway through. Bit of salt, just to make sure we get it throughout. Bit more salt in there. Pepper. And since it's me, let's throw a little MSG in there. Now we're chilling. I'm gonna get a second pan off to the side here. This bad boy here. Previously homemade bag of chicken stock. The lines here are from the rack when I chilled it. Now, in most cases I see suggest you just straight up steam these for the next 5 minutes with a lid. I don't think that's very interesting for chat. So I'm going to leave it open top and probably add a bit more water than your typical recipe just to counteract for that. Meantime, why don't we get started on our bread, actually. This is a little bit ahead of time, but... Here is my intended finishing vessel. If you look in my side, it's not exactly a small pot of soup. We need some breads, and I'm thinking, well, maybe we'll go for 3 with that. I was thinking it was going to be 2. Just sizing things up here to see if we got this right or if I want to adjust my size. I think that'll be fine. They'll shrink a little bit when they're toasting. We'll do an extra, let's say 3, just to be safe. wasn't a very good cut. We'll set us up for a much better one now, though. See what this bread is like from the local supermarket. This being the Primo French goat butter that I use for bread. I didn't get very much butter on that bite. Oh wow, I'm realizing a bunch of people followed me that I think I only got one of you and I got 3 follows here earlier on. Appreciate all those follows earlier today. Welcome in, Uber Superfi. How you doing tonight? Actually, I don't even know what time it is for you. And a little water that's going to boil off and just increase our cooking and get us closer to getting nicely caramelized onions quicker. Seems counterproductive to add water when you're sort of reducing water, but really you're cooking it out, and so the water is beneficial. Yeah, so the bread tonight is typical supermarket bread. It's lacking much flavor or development. That said, it is they do have a sourdough version since we're in the San Francisco area, which may have some actual flavor to it, but probably not much. I just couldn't justify doing the 3 or 4 hours of bread just for this dinner. I do quite a bit of bread on stream for anyone that's new. Actually planning to... I don't know when they're going to be harvesting, but I'm planning to get another half pig that I'll be butchering here on stream and putting in my chest freezer that's sitting over there. Start oven up. Finish your food and wash your hands. Oopsies. One too many. So pan and parchment. Pinch of salt. Pepper. And then spray bottle with olive oil. Alright, olive oiled. Oops, I need to go back up here out of the light. Now we're looking good over here. Butter smells so good with those onions. Now it's just to cook them down until they're brown and beautiful. Salt and pepper are the other side of our bread. Into the oven we go.
It's still preheating.
Give these onions another stir. Do I have one left?
I do, yes.
I think it's time to switch up from the coffee to something a little bit more dinner-like. Although I don't know if this is just yummy. What do I put with it tonight, though? Do we go with bourbon again? Oh, we're gonna definitely need the apple brandy out for soup a bit later. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with bourbon. Everything else is a little... Yeah, it's not gonna go well with the root beer. That would be IBC root beer. I bought a 4-pack for Wednesday's vanilla ice cream ingredient challenge, and this is the last of the 4. It's a nice combo. The little vanilla-y, caramelly bourbon, it just sort of blends in with the root beer. Going back to Kentucky again in June. Just bought tickets. Keep going back to Kentucky in June or July and visiting family out there. But at the same time, it's the worst time of the year to go to the distilleries because they all shut down in summer. they all shut down in summer because they run off of yeast. They need yeast to produce their beers that they're then distilling for their final product, creating their white lightning. Yeast doesn't really like really, really hot temperatures, especially since they're designed to be a bit warmer in there because the rest of the year it's not so hot. And so typically if they have a break, they have a break in summer. That said, some of them, like, I went to Wild Turkey a couple of years ago, they just keep going. They just keep bumping. Oh, I should probably turn this fan on back here. That's probably why I'm sweating just by standing here. Last minute, get units on the battlefield for Stream Raiders. You can use all sorts of things for your apples or your French onion soup. I tend to go with apple brandy. You can do apple jack. You can do just brandy of all sorts of different types. It doesn't have to be apple brandy. What else is there? Suggestions. You can do sherry along with some wine in it. I'd say white wine instead of red wine. I think red wine would make it weird. Don't know why the game sounds are not coming through. We gonna win this? Wowzers. By the skin of our teeth. And should be getting some musket scrolls. Congratulations, sir. I'm getting some monk scrolls, some vampire scrolls. Let's see, we got a indicator for our quest. Start our next battle, and then I'm gonna go to the store here. We go on top, we go on bottom. I think I like the green chest more than the blue chest. I think I'm gonna go for the top route. We can probably hit the bottom one from here either way if people protest. I'm putting my warrior out there. He wants to kill everything. Go up the side of our area corridor here and put the damage thingy here. We'll probably have some come down this way from behind. So if someone wants to start off a little one-man army, we can do one of those over here, something like that. And the majority of everyone else over here. Let's go back to the onions here. They're starting to look a little yummy here. We're starting to get some nice color in the liquid at least. I'm going to turn that pan down a little bit. We've been rocking near full blast flame here. Closer you get to running out of liquid once you've added that liquid and you got your onions cooked. Like if you notice they're translucent now. They're not. There's not a whole lot of white there with those onions left there. And so now we're down to caramelizing those sugars that we've broken down from the starches. Now they get really yummy. Getting sweat in my eyes. Oh, and good news. My earbud seems to be perfectly fine tonight. I'm not sure what it is, if it's like a charging issue or... It's never really wanted to sit right back into that earbud thing, and so unless I'm very careful putting it in there every single time, it doesn't necessarily charge every time. But I can usually do about 2 streams without it kicking out anyways. Oven's at 350, so we'll throw the crostini in there. Just for their initial bake. Take a look at them in 10 minutes. Probably going to take closer to 10, to 15 than 10. Words. As we get closer to caramelizing, we also have to stir these a bit more often and make sure they're not sticking on the bottom. Sugar's all going to want to stick and caramelize, burn by itself. How you doing tonight, Bun Buns? You done with work, or do you have to work tonight? Usually you're wrapping up work when we start stream. Or last hour or something. Nice. I've already gone and forgotten what you said you were doing as far as... I knew you were doing interviews, you're considering changing things. I already forgotten what you told me the other night what you were doing. Staycations are good. I really need to take a weekend or something like that. I've got several trips that I've wanted to do since I moved out here. I've been living out here a decade and I still haven't done them. I don't know why I haven't done them. One of them being is I need to go and spend some more time in the redwoods since I've been living in the redwoods for so long. But I've always been wanting to do a trip way up north, just traveling up the coast, and I've never done that either. Looks good for the resume too, if it's not a big issue. But at the same time, right now is like prime time if you're looking for a different job. Like, ton of people looking for labor, tons of people changing up what they're doing in life. A lot of people taking a year and year and a half off, or 2 years off, and realizing that their life can be different. Makes one heck of a good break point or change up point for everyone to have had to stop working all of a sudden. Might have been even beneficial. You know, hey, I wasn't that against us like doing I don't think we did a proper shutdown. I think we did a proper shutdown for a couple of days, a week or two. So many other things we could have done. That's nice. Not having to answer to the same authority. Changing things up, even by itself, can be nice. Hopefully, you don't get a stickler that's able to handle 3 other jobs at the same salary and doesn't pay you any attention. I think we're going a little too low here with our heat. So I added some water to the stock off to the side here from the onions. I'm also going to season this with some salt and pepper so it isn't just plain old chicken stock, which I do leave purposely pretty clean, plain, so that it can be reduced and things like that. Oh, and MSG too. Oh, I can't stand people calling me. I adore the fact that Google filters like 95% of that away from me these days. Take a peek at our bread. We're still doing okay over there. With some beer bread. I've been sort of enjoying tonight. It's been sort of a chill evening. I mean, I'm not doing it. We're cooking down onions and stuff like that, but people have been chatty. It's been nice. I think there's a little question. This is getting finished before I even get close to finishing dinner tonight. Actually, I should pound some water right now because I've been sweating. Sorry for leaving that timer on longer. Actually, we'll give him a flip around. We're starting to get some nice browning going here on our tips. But I'm going to give these another 5 minutes. Be nice and crispy and crunchy. So we dip them into that soup, they'll soften up. Perfect. Just perfect. Oh, what's going on here, camera? Still nicely connected there, I think. One moment here, folks. We got some technical difficulties with one of the cameras. Don't think that's really our issue, though. Get out of your box. Still not working. Oh, there we go. There we go. Make sure the board's back in the right position here. I just moved that around, cleaning that off a little bit. That one's forward a little bit though. Yeah, get the belly in there. That's good. Re-angle you. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Well, at least it's functioning again. I think it's overheating. I'm not sure. It's been reliably working for what, 2.5 years now? That's a lot of steam and smoke, and that's a good, I mean, that is a good thing for Logitech C920s. That this has lasted that well for being just your basic webcam. Got another 10 minutes on StreamYarders. Our Discord vote is still tied. Gonna be focusing a little bit more on StreamYarders, I think, on Mondays. Just to diversify a little bit. I might put the channel description as StreamYarders on Monday. There we have our crostini fresh out of the oven. Give them a couple minutes and they'll brown up a little bit more. Just carry over the oil on them and all that good stuff. But we're going to put the soup as our base in the bowl here once we get those onions fully cooked down. Add some flour to thicken up our broth. Add our broth in there. cook that all together a little bit longer with the brandy. Yeah. There's still a bit too much moisture in these onions for me. So we're gonna cook these a little bit longer. I want to hear these sizzling a little bit before I move on to adding the apple brandy and the flour. Well, I'm glad Twitch is muted because I had a streamer playing. And because my browser is tied in with the music, I might not have heard that. Don't remember having so. But I'm not good with a lot of the terminology. So, not 100% sure. If you give me a better description on what they are, I'd probably be able to tell you better. Noodles certainly have been like all the talk the last, I don't know, decade. Okay, no. And it's maybe one thing that I haven't really jumped on the train so much with. You know, I haven't done all the ramen stuff and all that. I've stayed a bit more Chinese almost. But definitely more casual American. Why was I bringing this up again? Oh, Meatloaf. She made an absolutely spectacular looking Salisbury steak. And because I didn't want to just blatantly copy her, we're doing meatloaf on Sunday, but I am definitely going for that mountain of mashed potatoes with a nice... Welcome in, SoCal. How you doing tonight, Ozzy? We got a nice big early raid tonight. All sorts of new people in here tonight. But it's been sort of chill. I've just been chatting, caramelizing onions, drinking root beer and bourbon. Our battle's probably ready, isn't it? Oh, another 5 minutes. I'm just looking to reduce what liquid we've got left in these onions so they start sizzling. Actually, I should pile these over here like this. That's a little bit more accurate to the burner. We got our crostini here. I've got my cheese ready to go for on top of all this, but once we're done reducing the liquid from this, we still probably got about 30 minutes to go here. Not really trying to consolidate them to the side so much as I'm trying to, as I tilted the pan there, I'm trying to extract some of the liquid out until the liquid is just boiling by itself. And I don't know if that really works or not, but I always get the feeling like if you can pull the liquid away from whatever solids you have there, it tends to boil off a bit quicker. Body is so weird with that. You know, just the energy at the weirdest times. I had no energy leading up to the stream tonight, but I was up late last night and yada yada. Somewhat deserved. Well, that's... I can't speak, so, I mean... creeping that temperature up a little bit with the onion. They are rubbery. Are they like glass noodles? I mean, I've made glass noodles. That was a real interesting experience. Glass noodles are essentially, some of them have some sort of flavoring in them, but the mass majority of them are just some form of starch and liquid that's been boiled together and then gelled and then cooled down as a gel to the point that it like solidifies into a block, but it's still a gel. And then you can actually like cut them with like a cheese grater or same texture as glass noodles. So it's probably in the same ballpark, just a different starch. Let's do our battle. Let's go to war. Oh, nice even rows going on here. This is like proper army going on. Oh, and then we have this over here. Oh wait, I was gonna do this differently. I was gonna do a bit of this action. I'm expecting us to rush up here, attack a bunch of these guys, and then some people to sneak back up, and we'll help be fighting those back down here. And some of those rogues just went straight over there. Are we gonna wipe them out before the other get here? Not looking good. Oof. Oof. Yeah, rip. I think I'm gonna go this side this time. And we'll do a bit of this action here too. About from there over. Over here, let's go to the store. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Get my 25 laurels. Spend them. Ooh, I still got 2 more. Yeah, why not? Yes. And they didn't give me anything to really do. So I'm just doing stuff up to 20. Anything that's under 20 gets gold thrown at it. Need to get all these 20 for quests. Bubbling a little more vigorously now. And to the edge of maybe sticking here. Nice. But I think we're getting there with the onions. So I think it's time to add in our apple brandy. I'm going to pour this, especially since this is 100 proof bottle and bond. It's heavy duty stuff. Don't want that whole bottle going up from this. Don't need a Molotov cocktail in my own home. Of course, we got to flame off the alcohol. Fire. You got to be careful with this because alcohol will burn clear, so we're going to give this a second to make sure that there aren't any clear flames going on there. Even though the clear flames are more likely to be at the beginning and not the end. Now we'll give that a stir. Now we got that flavor in there, though. Mmm. It's amazing to think. I don't think I've used this brandy for anything but cooking. And to think that I've gone through this bottle. I think I bought this bottle while I was streaming. Does anyone remember me using that for any sort of drink or anything along the way? I don't remember using that for any drinks or anything. We need some flour. I'm almost out of flour here. What type of flour are you? You'll work. And just to sort of spread it out a bit instead of just creating a giant clump. Ooh, I can smell that brandy. And the butter from earlier. Let's give this a couple of seconds to cook off like this. Just to make sure all that flour hydrates before we really hydrate it, I guess. Okay, now to turn this into soup. Our stock and water heated up properly. I'm gonna check one thing. I'll be right back. Oh, it's gonna take a second though. Never mind, I guess. Over here. So what's the news with everyone else out there? It's just the butter rising to the top there initially. As this heats up and that flour thickens a bit, which we can turn the heat up here now. We need to bring this to a boil so that, forget the term for it, it's not a roux anymore. Because we separated the butter and the flour in between some ingredients there. We had a bunch of butter at the beginning with all the onions. Cooked all the onions in that butter and reduced it down. Then added the flour. There's a proper French term for that, but I'm not recalling it. Versus just doing a classic roux, which is essentially the same thing, but got our oven at 350. I think I'm going to preheat my bowl a little bit here in the oven. And I should definitely take these off of this because we're going to use this as a piece underneath their suit. Switching the parchment mostly because I don't want all the crumbs and stuff on the bottom of my soup crook. Boy, emulsify those beautiful buttery fats in there. Watch pot never boils. See if we can't hide away this bottle once again into its far back home. That's right, it goes behind the Kahlua and the amaretto. Technically in front of the tequila and the Fernet. Amaretto's tasty. I enjoyed doing that in my coffee. I don't do alcohol in coffee, or hardly ever. I've done it once or twice here on stream because it was like the theme of the night. I would be not opposed whatsoever if someone put amaretto in the ingredient suggestions list. Did I put tequila down there? I thought I did the other night. Okay, yeah, we got tequila on there. That was the beginning of the month. Oh, you've had your shirataki pasta, so I gotta do glass noodles. Bubble, boil, toil, and trouble. It's just thickening up a bit now that we're getting closer to a boil, if you notice. I mean, it's not, it's still thin. It's still a soup, but it's thicker than the stock was. It's thicker than water. Sort of a light sauce thickness right now. Debating if I want to make that a little bit thicker or not. I'll give it a wait for the oven just kicked on. I was just about to open it. I'm gonna wait for it to heat up fully before I open it. Dino Nuggies. Yeah, that was a good suggestion. We were talking about how chicken is propped up and made to look like it's more commercially the other day in Discord chat. And yeah, Ozzy went and made that wonderful suggestion. So we're going to have to try some heavily pumped chicken. Like Dino Nuggies, I don't think Dino Nuggies are even like... I haven't ate them. I don't know if I've ever had them. I've definitely seen them. I know what they are. But my understanding, they're sort of like more like McDonald's territory where it's like a foam liquid instead of actually meat structure inside of them. Ooh, bubbling. Alright, I think it's time to... How we doing on Stream Raiders? How much longer we got until our last battle of the evening? We got 13 minutes. I think we're just about right there. So we'll take out our pot there. Move this over to the stove. Ladle's over here. I'm gonna end up pouring up the last of this in there. I just needed a second hand towel. Welcome in, Evangeline. How you been? Well, hopefully it isn't too miserable. Hopefully it's tolerable misery. Cut the rind off on our fresh piece of Gruyere. And let's go to town. Making sure to get a nice mound on each of our crostini to begin with. Yeah. There we go. Now we got some cheese on there. And we're going to switch the oven over to broiler. We're going to lower the rack one. We're going to put this right underneath. Not directly under the broiler, that was more like mid-oven, so it's not going to get... I find if you get too close to the broiler, unless you're like positioning things on either side of it, it's not going to cook very evenly because you get that solid bar in the middle. Seven minutes until Stream Raiders. Let's do a quick cleanup on our pans and all that. This just basically needs a rinse out and a dry up. Basically took all the soup out of there. I was worried I was going to have too much for that container. Wow, nice cleanup night tonight. No fuss, no muss. We have our broth pot, and we have our cast iron that we did our onions in. By the way, if there is a thing that cast iron excels at, caramelized onions, I definitely want a cast iron pan for caramelized onions. Let's take a gander. We're getting there. We're getting there. We might need a second layer of cheese. Second layer of cheese. We're using chicken stock tonight. Traditional is more beef or maybe even veal stock. Almost there. Almost there. Not a beef consomme, but chicken is definitely not traditional. It'd be beef, or old school or commercial, it'd be veal stock. We're gonna give that a little more time. Consommes, I get annoyed at the idea of consomme being used as a term for birria tacos. Birria tacos. To me, a consomme is typically a very fine dining thing where you have it's a broth or a stock that is crystal clear. Like, as I was taught, you have your traditional sized soup cup, and you should be able to put a dime at the bottom and read the date on the dime. It's that clear of a liquid. And then that's then used with fancy garnishes, and so you have, some sort of beautiful garnish sitting in the center of your little cup of soup, and then you pour the consomme over the top and it transforms. Like, you have those teas that change from a ball to a flower. You can do the same sort of things with that. Zuppa. Arguing with the toddler. Let's do some photo time. Even though my lighting in here is sort of junky right now because my light up here is still out. That's why it's a little darker in the front of the image and much brighter back where I am. Normally it's a little bit brighter in the front of the table out here. And I almost went and fixed it today. I was looking at it about 3 o'clock. And that thing, this is the most ridiculous light ever. I mean, it's got like a maybe 15 by 15 inch piece of polished glass to it. So it's got some glass to it, but it's not huge and unmanageable sort of a thing. And it's got 4, 5, 6, 7 screws holding this thing on just to get to the light bulb. Like, I could maybe reach over and get to the light bulb on it, but like, I'm gonna add a bit more cheese to this and let that melt while we're doing our Stream Raiders battle here. You know, as if I didn't have enough cheese on there already. But let's do our battle. Final battle of the evening here, folks. Oh, weird. The camera's maybe cutting off a little bit of the scene. I didn't realize it was doing that. Victory. We won. Victory. 14. That's nice. That's like normally the higher levels give you only like 10. Bun's getting them gold. Ooh, a whole bunch of laurel. If you haven't been paying attention in this most recent event, this is probably only going to last for this event, is here in the store under a featured. You not only get 25 free, but you get all sorts of goodies here from spending the laurels that you get from winning battles. I'm supposed to be sticking with just one of these, I think, and I've just been spreading it all out. Okay, we're all set there. We're all set with the store. We're all set with that until Sunday. Sunday. Gonna be back on Sunday doing meatloaf. It's been a while since I've done meatloaf. Looking forward to that, actually. And Monday, I briefly touched on it before, but gonna do I'm first off gonna be focusing a little bit more on Stream Raiders. I don't know, maybe we'll try a level of verses or something. You know, whatever's. But I'm also going to be celebrating the birthday of Luther Burbank, who, if anyone out there is unfamiliar with, I'm assuming many people are unfamiliar with him. He was a botanist, a gardener, did a lot of development, created a lot of things before we knew a lot about genetics. Things like the daisy that everyone thinks of, that golden yellow daisy, the Shasta daisy, was his creation. Santa Rosa plum, the original Idaho potato, the Idaho russet potato, that man developed. All sorts of roses, all sorts of plums, all sorts of tree fruits, all sorts of stuff. They're still finding stuff all over the county here that he hid in different places because people were trying to steal his secrets, and so he would make buddy deals with different people around the county and say, hey, why don't you try planting a couple of these? So, and they're still discovering them. Although most of his stuff was stolen by companies, is now patented by other companies, even though he developed them. Anyways, I'm gonna go and enjoy this soup. Let's see, do we have anyone we can raid tonight? We have anyone guiding the raid tonight? Thank you so much for that raid early on, Zach Busey. I think we're going to leave it right here. Just call it a night. I want to say I appreciate you joining me. Thank you once again for that raid. And hope to see you back here on Sunday, maybe Monday, maybe even Wednesday for the ingredient challenge, whether I might have to use frozen pizza or peas as an ingredient for dinner and dessert.